Hello and good morning, everybody. This is Barbara Ann with Straight Out of Context. So, there's breaking news from Buckingham Palace. Let's see.
News now from Buckingham Palace that King Charles III, you'll remember that he went in for an enlarged prostate to the hospital there, was discharged from the hospital. Well, subsequently now, he has been diagnosed with, and they're not saying exactly what it is, a form of cancer. According to Buckingham Palace, he is undergoing treatments. He will stay away from what they call public-facing duties for a time. But apparently the king is very optimistic that they'll be able to get this cancer treated, and he'll be able to resume a full public schedule as well. We're trying to get Dr. Siegel up as quickly as possible to help us out with this news. Again, Sandra, they're not saying what it is, whether it's associated with his enlarged prostate or whether it's something else.
Just some more information as you were speaking there. This was during the King's recent hospital visit, as you mentioned, John, that they learned of this condition. He was there for the procedure for benign prostate enlargement. The palace says a separate issue of concern was noted. Subsequent diagnostic tests have identified a form of cancer. That is per the palace official statement. His Majesty has today commenced a schedule of regular treatments, so treatment has officially begun. The king has been advised by doctors to postpone all public-facing duties for the time being.
So, according to a royal source, talking to Reuters, the king's cancer is not prostate cancer. So this is unrelated to the treatment that he had for BPH in the last week. I imagine that they probably did a CT scan of the area, or maybe he had some other concerns that they checked out. Again, they're not saying what type of cancer this is. They're just saying that he has a form of cancer.
The king remains wholly positive about his treatment and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. The palace also saying that His Majesty has chosen to share his diagnosis to prevent speculation, and then to hope it may assist public understanding for all those around the world who are affected by cancer. And throughout the period, His Majesty will continue to undertake state business and official paperwork as usual. That is what we know so far, John.
And contrast that with the situation involving the Secretary of Defense, who didn't tell anybody about it. A lot of people say missed an opportunity to reach out, particularly to African-American men who have a higher incidence of prostate cancer than the general population. So the prince tried to turn this into a positive thing by making the public more aware of cancer and the fact that he is engaging in this fight with a very optimistic mind, and that he hopes to fully overcome it. Maybe in the hours ahead, Sandra, will get an idea what kind of cancer this is, but for the moment we don't, only that it's not associated with his prostate.
Right.
Okay, so I can understand and appreciate that somebody would want to keep their cancer diagnosis private, because at 33 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 2 cervical cancer and with an almost stage 3 in depth. Right before my 34th birthday, I had to undergo a radical hysterectomy, a total pelvic lymphadenectomy, and a partial vagisectomy, which is partial removal of the vagina. They took about 1/2 of mine, and they created a vaginal cuff there. I was very fortunate and very lucky because I didn't have to do chemotherapy or radiation. However, I was on immunotherapy drugs, which is a form of cancer treatment, for 2 years after. And I just turned 38. So this was in 2019. This was the fourth surgery that I had that year related to the cancer that I had. So I can completely understand why somebody would want to keep that private. No public figure or monarch, celebrity, or just average Joe on the street has to tell anybody their private medical diagnosis, and nobody should be forced or feel forced to just because they are a celebrity or public figure. Your medical diagnosis and your medical records are private and confidential, and you have that right. And to me, that's a basic human right, not just a civil or constitutional right here in the United States, but that is your basic human right, that you don't have to share that information or feel pressured to, because you can make a difference or bring attention and awareness to it. So I completely understand what it feels like to be on this side of cancer because I had it myself, and I can understand. One thing that's not talked about very much is the residual effects of having had cancer and what it does to your body, what surgeries removing organs does to your body, psychologically, emotionally, what it does to your body. And they also don't prepare you for the rest of your life. So my heart and my prayers definitely go out to King Charles III and Queen Camilla during this time. And I really hope that as far as the royal family goes, they find solace and comfort in family and support and togetherness. And I really hope that he genuinely is able to beat this cancer. However, I know that they said it's not prostate cancer, but prostate cancer, according to the General Prostate Cancer Survival Rate with the American Cancer Society, the relative 5-year survival rate is nearly 100%. The relative 10-year survival rate is about 98%, and the 15-year relative survival rate is 91%. So those are very good statistics. I think even cervical cancer doesn't have quite as good statistics as the prostate cancer. But, you know, cancer is cancer. It doesn't discriminate, and it is what it is. The big C word. So anybody that's ever had it, no matter what type, the duration, the treatment, cancer is cancer. And that is something I wholeheartedly understand, sympathize with, and am very compassionate about. I pray that God keeps him safe and comforted during this time. I really do. That is very heartbreaking. And in my personal opinion, I really hope that Prince Harry and his wife get over their bullshit and really take this as a note that family does matter, that they need to put aside their grievances and have some kind of contact or reconciliation, because life is too short. And the only things that matter are exactly that: family, God, relationships. That's what truly matters. You don't want to be on your deathbed or have a cancer diagnosis and be close to death in any capacity, or the possibility of death in the not so distant future, and think, wow, I regret that. Or I didn't do everything that I wanted or needed to do. And so to me, in my own opinion, Prince Harry, he has a lot of things that he needs to clear up and say to his daddy. And that's just that. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see what happens. But as of right now, all my love, all my prayers go out to King Charles III. All right. Have a great day, everybody.